Yeah. Offer is the term that is interchangeably used with the proposal. So many of the times, many people use this particular term proposal in place of offer. So don't be confused with this particular term. Offer is interchangeably used with proposal. According to section 2A of the Indian Contract Act, when a person made a proposal, when he signifies to another his willingness to do or abstain from doing something, he said to make a proposal. Suppose there are two persons, A and B. A has offered something to do something to B. That is an offer. Offer can be made for doing something as well as for not doing something. So once B is accepting, that offer will be promise, right? An offer can also be called as a proposal. So person who makes the proposal or offer is called promiser or offerer. Here for the terminology, the person who is making the offer is offerer. So my suggestion is you either use this term or this term. So far as my view is concerned, I use this term offerer. Offerer is the person who makes offer to another party, and the person to whom the offer is made is called the offeree. Offerer and offeree. Offerer is the person who is making offer, and offeree is the person to whom the offer has been made. An offeree is supposed to accept the offer, then it will become the what? Promise. So the person who is accepting the offer is also called promisee or acceptor. So offerer, once the offerer is accepting the offer, he can be called as an acceptor. Okay. We'll see now the essential elements of a proposal. The first element is expression of willingness. The offer must be an expression of the willingness to do something or not to do something. So offer can be made for doing something or not doing something to another person. Offer is made to another person. We cannot offer ourselves something. So the expression of willingness or abstinence must be to another person. View to obtain the assent. Offer is made with a view to obtain the consent of the other person to whom the offer has been made. Right? So offer seeks what? Acceptance. If somebody has made the offer, what he is seeking for? He is seeking for the acceptance of the other party to whom the offer has been made. So offer has been made with a view to get the assent or consent of the other person to whom it has been made. We'll see now the types of offer. The first type of offer is express offer. When offer is given to another person either in writing, written mode or in oral mode, it can be called as an express offer. Means offer has been expressed to other person by offerer either through words, orally or in written form. See the example. A proposes by letter to sell his house to B at a certain price. This is an offer by an act of written words. A advertises in newspaper offering ₹1,000 to anyone who finds his lost dog. That is again an offer, right? But what type of offer it is? Offer it is expressed offer, exclusively written offer. Implied offer. When offer is inferred from the conduct of the person or the circumstances, that offer is considered as an implied offer, right? So, see the example. Indian Railway runs trains between different places to carry passengers at the scheduled price. That means Indian Railway is responsible for boarding and lodging, for which the money you have paid, right? from one place to the other place for which you have bought the tickets. Specific offer. When offer is given to a specific person, that offer is called specific offer. Suppose A has offered to sell his house to B only, that is a specific offer, right? C cannot entertain that offer, D cannot entertain that offer. Only B can accept or reject that offer. So that is a specific offer. Once an offer has been made to a specific person, so that is a specific offer. Only that person to whom the offer has been made can accept or reject. General offer. When offer is given to entire world at a large, that is general offer. Here the writes in rain is coming. Offer at large. Right? This type of offer is offered to common man, general public. Right? So the famous example of the case study that we include to understand the general offer is Carlyle versus Carbolic Smoke Balls Company. That case was of 1813. Let me just give you the essence of this case. The patent medicine company advertised that it would give a reward of £100 to anyone who contracted influenza after using the smoke balls of the company for a certain period according to the printed directions. Mrs. Carlyle purchased the advertised smoke balls and contracted the influenza in spite of using as per the printed instruction. She claimed the reward of £100. The claim was registered by the company on the ground that the offer was not made to her, that in any case she had not communicated the acceptance of the offer. She filed the suit for the recovery of the reward. What happened in that case? कंपनी ने बताया था कि अगर कंपनी के डायरेक्शन के हिसाब से अगर कोई व्यक्ति कार्बोलिक बॉल को यूज करेगा तो he or she can contract the influenza if they are going to use as per the instruction. So Mrs. Carlyle claimed that I have done and I have contracted the influenza. Fine. So, but company denied that this offer was not made to you. So she filed a suit for the recovery of the reward, and she could recover the reward as she has accepted the offer by complying with the terms of the offer. So what happens? This is the exceptional case. In general offer is made to the public at large. Anyone who is doing and acting as per the instruction has already complied with, and it will be treated as an acceptance of the offer. So court, so Mrs. Carlyle used that product as per the instruction printed upon the product. That means she accepted the offer, and in that case, communication to the company that, for the acceptance is not necessary because that offer is offered to world at large. So, court rewarded the compensation to her as she followed the terms and conditions mentioned in the usage of the product. So, that was in favor of Mrs. Carlyle. So, this is an example of general offer. I hope you have understood. Do you have any question? So, this is an example of rights in rain, not in rights in personnel. Cross offer. When both the persons are making identical offer to each other in ignorance of others' offer. A and B have made offer to each other, but A do not know that B is at the same time B is also making an offer. They are in ignorance of each other's offer, and that offer is called cross offer. See the example, you will understand clearly. A by a later offers to sell his stock to B for rupees 2 lakhs. B by a later offers to buy the same stock for rupees 1 lakh. बट वो दोनों को नहीं पता है, दोनों ने लगभग आसपास एक दूसरे को एक लेटर लिखा है. They have made offer to each other, so cross offer will get cancelled because वो एक दूसरे को क्रॉस कर रहा है, and ignorance में हुआ है. That is why this is cross offer, right? Cross offer ignorance में हुआ. So there is no acceptance of each other's offer, hence no contract will arise in case of cross offer. ठीक है. Counter offer, when both the person are making offers to each other which are not identical in ignorance of others offer, that offer is called counter offer. See the example. W offered to sell his house to H for rupees 50 lakhs. Right? So after getting the offer, H replied that he would buy for rupees 40 lakhs. W refused to sell at rupees 40 lakhs. So what is that? That is counter offer. W ने H को ऑफर किया, H ने एक्सेप्ट किया क्या? नहीं किया. एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया, उसने एक और ऑफर दे दिया कि मैं 40 lakhs में बाय करना चाहता हूँ. Now the W has to accept that offer made by H. तो H ने W ने refuse कर दिया, means contract होगा क्या? नहीं होगा. ठीक है, is that clear? Right? फिर बाद में फिर क्या हुआ? H then expressed his willingness to buy for rupees 50 lakhs. अब क्या होगा? Any guessing? Any guessing? The offer to buy at rupees 40 lakhs was a counter offer which amounted to the rejection of the original offer. ठीक है? Now the counter offer needs to be accepted. ये accept होगा तभी क्या होगा? Contract होगा, नहीं तो नहीं होगा. Standing offer. It is an offer to supply certain commodities for a certain price up to a certain period. Quantity may not be specified. It is like tender. Tender में क्या होता है कि एक certain period के लिए एक certain amount की वस्तु में सप्लाई करनी होती है. ठीक है, तो वो standing offer होता है. वो that will exist for either for a particular limit. That limit should not be crossed or particular amount. See the example, you will understand clearly. A coal dealer agrees to supply coal to a factory for a period of 1 year at rupees 10,000 per ton up to 1,000 ton. What is the condition? 1,000 ton होने तक वो 10,000 रुपए पर टन की कॉस्टिंग करेगा. ठीक है, कब तक? 1 year. राइट? तो हो सकता है कि 1 साल तक वो लिमिट नहीं क्रॉस हो, या हो सकता है कि 6 महीने में ये 1000 टन की लिमिट क्रॉस हो जाए. देन क्या होगा? स्टैंडिंग ऑफर विल टर्मिनेट, क्योंकि वो दो कंडीशन है, 1 year और 1000 टन, whichever is earlier. Got it? तब तक वो स्टैंड करेगा. So this type of offer is called standing offer, which may be accepted by the factory. Right? This does not amount to acceptance in law. Acceptance should be complete as soon as an order is placed by the factory. तो कंपनी ने जैसे ही फर्स्ट ऑर्डर दिया कि 10 टन सप्लाई का तो गोल means that will be treated as a acceptance of the offer. So this type of offer is what? Standing offer. लिख के देने की जरूरत नहीं है कि हमने आपका ऑफर एक्सेप्ट किया. जैसे ही ऑर्डर प्लेस किया that will be treated as acceptance. ठीक है? Right? So factory ने 50 टन का ऑर्डर दिया. This is the acceptance of a standing order. This offer may be expressed. Legal rules of a valid offer. Offer may be expressed or implied. First thing, offer expressed होना चाहिए क्या implied होना चाहिए? Implied means conduct of the party. ठीक है. Second, an offer must create a legal relationship and consequences. This rule has arisen from the case of Balfour versus Balfour. The terms of offer must be certain and not loose or vague. Offer must be definite. ठीक है. टेलर वर्सेस पोर्टिंगटन के केस में ये रूल आया है. ऑफर में भी स्पेसिफिक और जनरल. स्पेसिफिक means that have been made to specific party or can be made to word at large. ठीक है. Offer must be communicated to the offering. Offer may be conditional. ठीक है, mere statement of price is not an offer. That rule has come up as a result of Harvey versus Facey case. ठीक है, प्राइस बताना ऑफर नहीं है, ठीक है. There is a clear cut difference between offer, invitation to offer, invitation to sell. ठीक है, remember the point. There is a difference between offer, invitation to offer, invitation to sell. We'll see now one case. Fine. The first case is Balfour versus Balfour. That is the case of 1919. Mr. Balfour promised to pay £30 per month to his wife living in England when she could not accompany him to Ceylon, where he was working. So Mr. Balfour इंग्लैंड से श्रीलंका काम करने के लिए गए. वाइफ ने कहा कि मेरे साथ चलिए. वाइफ ने कहा कि मैं नहीं जा सकती ड्यू टू सर्टेन रीजंस. तो उसने कहा कि मैं हर महीने £30 दूंगा, ठीक है. On his failure to pay, Mrs. Balfour sued him for recovery of the amount. बाद में उन्हें दिया नहीं तो मिसेस बाल्फोर ने केस किया. उसके ऊपर है ये केस, ठीक है. The court held that it was a domestic agreement which did not intend to create legal relations, ठीक है. तो क्या हुआ, वो अमाउंट रिकवर नहीं हो पाया. क्यों? वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं बना था, लीगलाइज नहीं हुआ था. That was a mere social agreement between husband and wife, ठीक है. So A agrees to sell his car to B for ₹2 lakh after making necessary repairs. Can you throw light on this particular case? What you understood by that? Anyone? You have to think applying the legal sense, not social sense. No? थोड़ा स्टॉप